Who are you? Stop right there. Go ahead and stop right there.
This Idaho state officer is pointing his flashlight at 70-year-old Alan Bruce. He has no idea that the man he just ran into was in the middle of dumping human body parts in a nearby river after murdering, dismembering, and meticulously covering up the crime scene.
Okay, so what are you doing?
We got a bookkeeping problem going on down here, and I just wanted to make sure you weren't that guys.
All right, so you're just trying to keep an eye on stuff then?
Yeah, excuse me for if I got you excited.
All right.
After Alan walks away, it would take investigators days to discover exactly what he dumped in the river, leading them through a twisted maze of misleading clues and disturbing discoveries, and what might be the worst crime these small-town officers will ever uncover.
Oh, it stinks bad.
You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
There is no body found. He was reduced down to nothing.
It's a routine late spring in central Idaho. Tucked deep within its mountains sits the remote town of Chalice, a place surrounded on all sides by rugged terrain and long stretches of wilderness. And at the center of it all runs the Salmon River, better known as the River of No Return. The small town of Chalice is home to fewer than 1,000 residents. Crime rates here are remarkably low, and serious violent homicides are unheard of. But that's about to change, because a heinous crime happened somewhere in this town, and what's left of it now is in the Salmon River, waiting to be found. The investigation begins on an early Saturday afternoon, less than a year ago, when an elderly woman walks into the local police station to report someone missing.
When he's upset, I'm just surprised he hasn't been back to see. That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah. Do you know what he was wearing last when he left?
Pair of boots, blue jeans, and I think it was a dark t-shirt and baseball cap, and he's got a little pug rider that is with him everywhere.
Who is Patrick to
Just
you?
one of my dear kids that I've taken under my wing.
Okay, so not biological.
No.
Okay.
There's a picture.
Yeah, picture, okay. Does this picture resemble what he looks like right now?
His beard is a little fuller and his hair is in better shape than that.
The man in those photos is 47-year-old Patrick Shelton. His adoptive mother, Helen, goes on to explain that Patrick spends most of his time up in the mountains, cutting and selling firewood, often late at night. He's got a chainsaw, usually at least one weapon on him, and his dog Ryder is always by his side. In most missing person cases, it takes days before investigators get a solid lead to work with. But in the town of Chalice, that process is about to be cut short.
I remember you mentioned something about when you talked about him going to Alan Bruce's. It seemed like you said something to where they had some conflict recently. They have.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why he went there?
He was supposed to go move his motorhomes, and when he got out there, Alan had moved them with the bulldozer.
Okay.
Not good. Probably screwed up the transmissions, and I don't know.
The name Helen mentions immediately rings a bell, because officers know exactly who she's talking about. 70-year-old Alan Bruce is a local resident with a rural property just out of town, working odd jobs including welding and mechanical work. But that's not what people in Chalice know him for, because Alan has a different reputation, built on constant disputes and ongoing conflicts with other locals. Just earlier in the year, he was reported for allegedly throwing gas bombs and setting a woman's property on fire. So based on Helen's statement, officers prepare to head out and speak with Alan, see if he can point them in the right direction. At this point, officers aren't too surprised that Alan's name came up, and don't expect anything serious. In reality, something already happened between Alan and Patrick just a night ago that ended very gruesomely. While officers are on their way to question him, Alan is still in the middle of covering things up. In just a few seconds, a deputy pulls up to his property.
Hey, Alan. How's it going? One thing after another. Hey, I was just coming to chat with you. We had a report that no one knows where Pat is right now.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. And I just wanted to touch bases with you because I know you got the stuff off your property, but he was going to come by to pick it up, right?
Yeah,
Did you ever see him on that?
I did.
Okay.
They came by here. He was unhappy, very unhappy.
Okay, but it was just all kind of verbal argument or something, or he's just, okay. And he went and got his stuff then, or?
Well, he still has some stuff here. He said he wanted to go cut some wood. He needs some money. So he's probably out somewhere out there. Maybe broke down, and I don't know.
I'm just trying to create a timeline so I know who last saw him. So when was that he showed up here?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago?
3 nights ago.
Let's see,
Can't
what is
remember.
it? Thursday night? Okay.
In the middle of the conversation, the deputy notices something off about Alan's demeanor. His responses are short, controlled, almost rehearsed. But as the deputy continues asking questions, things start to feel even more strange.
And then, did he hang around here long, or did he just go right over?
Back and forth.
Back and forth?
Uh-huh.
Coming back onto the property?
Yeah.
Does he still stab stuff here then?
He does.
Oh,
They
okay.
Get it all out.
Oh, okay.
Like that shed, that wooden shed is his.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
The tires in it. And you can see there's a pickup rack just over that Ford.
Oh, just the steel there
Yeah, the
poking
steel-
up?
steel
Oh,
that's
okay.
his.
Okay. So he...
Wooden rack over there in the back of the tracker, like that.
Okay,
Tires.
just kind of bunch of crap laying around.
Right.
Okay. So he got some of it though?
Yeah.
Do you know where he was taking it to?
Taking down his motorhomes.
Oh, where are his motorhomes?
Right here, you walk over there and you see.
Okay. Oh, there?
There's his Ram Charger and another one's in front.
The motorhome Alan is pointing to does indeed belong to Patrick, but more importantly, it holds items that might explain what really happened to him. Alan goes on to explain that he moved Patrick's motorhomes himself because of the ongoing disputes and problems between the two, which sounds normal considering they're frequent business partners. But as the conversation continues, the deputy takes note of Alan's shifting body language and quietly requests another officer to the scene. There's a noticeable tension in the way Alan carries himself. This is because while he's speaking to the deputy, his sole focus is on the barrels sitting just a few feet away, with Patrick's dismembered body parts hidden inside.
He's riding along with me. I was just on a phone call for a minute, so I didn't want to bring that out here. So
did he stay here last night, or?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. And he didn't tell you where he was going to get the wood?
Hold on. It was Thursday night he left here, not last night.
Okay. Does he have any favorite spots so we can just go
He's got a
check
spot
for
up
him?
there at Bay Horse, pretty close to the top. You go up there before you get to the rest area, the potties. This road takes off and goes down the hill and crosses the creek.
Uh-huh.
Way back up in there is a favorite wood cutting spot for him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that the only one you know about?
It's the only one he took me to.
Oh, okay. You may be the last person that saw him because he would have then gone up there that night potentially?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Notably, Alan's demeanor shifts once again. With a second officer on scene, he becomes more composed and careful with how he answers questions. Despite this noticeable shift, Alan provides deputies with something useful, a location where Patrick might be. The place he mentions is a remote area about 20 miles out, near the so-called River of No Return. Naturally, it's somewhere deputies need to check, but before heading out there, they decide to take a quick look around the motorhome Alan pointed to earlier, a small decision that will give police something useful to work with later on.
The doors are ratchet strapped closed. Looks like it's cut.
Are these your footprints?
No.
Maybe take a photo of those.
Yeah, that one looks open. That looks... I think it looks cut.
If that is a deadbolt, but that's an additional.
I'm assuming Alan had to access it to put it in neutral. Technically, you could be looking at unlawful entry.
Clearly, the locks have been tampered with, consistent with Alan's explanation that he moved the motorhome himself. It's a small detail, but one that could give officers grounds to detain him later on, depending on how this unfolds. But without a warrant, officers can't search inside the motorhome, so they step back, leave the scene, and head towards Big Hill, where Patrick might be. At this stage, there is still no confirmed crime. Alan has been forthcoming, and nothing directly points to anything serious just yet. But by the end of this night, police will have more than one suspect on their hands, and what might be the worst crime this town will ever see. But before we get to that, it's important to note that cases like these can affect the mental health of both the officers and the innocent people involved, and stressful situations in everyone's life can often have the same effect. I hit a point where trying to move on wasn't working, and I didn't really have anyone I could talk to without feeling like I was a burden or worrying about how they'd react or what they'd think. And that's when I realized having someone completely outside your life who can give you a clear, unbiased perspective actually makes a huge difference. That's why I've partnered with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Starting therapy can feel like a huge step, but BetterHelp actually makes it really simple. You take a short quiz, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime at no extra cost, which I think is huge because finding the right therapist makes all the difference. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Over 6 million people have used BetterHelp, earning it a 4.8 out of 5 rating on the App Store. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Insanity to get 10% off your first month. With that said, let's get back to the video. Roughly 2 hours later, deputies arrive at Big Hill where Patrick was known to frequent for cutting firewood. On the ground, deputies notice tire marks and begin following them, and as they continue along the trail, they spot something in the distance. A red pickup truck matching the description of Patrick's vehicle, with a damaged windshield.
Hello? His windshield.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I believe so. Hey, Pat! Pat! Pat, it's the Custer County Sheriff's Office! Can you hear us?
Dog's in the seat.
Alive?
What was the dog's name?
Ryder.
Ryder, buddy. Ryder.
It awake?
No, I saw it moving.
Dog's been in here a while. He's messed himself. Oh, he's moving. It's definitely a he, by the way. Hi, baby. I'm here, okay. We're gonna get you some water, okay? Where'd he go? Where did he go?
Miraculously, Patrick's dog Ryder is still alive after 2 full days, but he's severely dehydrated. As deputies pull Ryder from the vehicle and give him water, they notice something else. Patrick's chainsaw is missing from the truck, suggesting he might still be somewhere nearby. And while they discuss their next steps, Ryder suddenly begins reacting to something in the air. Dogs like Ryder have a sense of smell up to 100,000 times more powerful than humans, comparable even to trained police canine units. Without realizing it, officers have stumbled onto their strongest lead yet, and Ryder might guide them directly towards the answer they're looking for.
Poor buddy.
What's up?
Listen to that.
No.
So that makes me think he could be down lower if he would, because his chainsaw's not here.
Yeah.
He always has
wanna
his
go down for a
chainsaw.
walk?
I'm thinking so.
I'll go with you. I kind of want to walk down there and see if his behavior still points that way.
Right. Let's walk him.
Come on. Dude, you gotta give me a break. We can't go down that. That is a completely down. There is no angle to that. I'm arguing with a dog.
As luck would have it, the dog picks up a scent, but can't pinpoint a specific location. The reason for that is something officers haven't realized yet, because there is no single place where Patrick might be. He's already been dead for 2 nights, dismembered with his own chainsaw, and scattered across the very mountains deputies are now searching. Some of his remains are already floating down the river of no return, just 20 miles from where they're standing. None of this is apparent to deputies yet, so they decide to take a closer look at Patrick's pickup truck for any additional clues. What they notice inside is very sketchy. Dark red staining across the interior, heavily soaked towels on the driver's seat, items marked with blood, and a discarded mail letter with the name Alan Bruce on it. Something violent happened here, and the more deputies think about it, the more obvious what happened to Patrick becomes. So before the evening ends, they secure the scene and return to town where they talk to other acquaintances of Patrick who collectively make one thing crystal clear. Alan had an ongoing feud with Patrick. He recently moved his motorhome using heavy equipment and damaged it in the process. And he's the only person anyone can think of who might want to hurt Patrick. With that in mind, investigators formally identify Alan Bruce as the primary suspect in Patrick Shelton's disappearance. But the reality and discoveries awaiting investigators in the coming hours are anything but straightforward, as they'll soon find themselves investigating more than one suspect. For the time being, though, search warrants are requested for both properties, and Idaho State Police are called in, bringing in a team of experienced detectives. However, as the multi-agency effort is underway, someone in town is simultaneously running their own homicide cover-up operation. As night falls, Alan moves quietly, continuing to dump body parts and evidence in the river and burning anything that could tie him to what he's done. At the same time, police's search and rescue units are mobilized, preparing to comb through the surrounding terrain for any sign of Patrick. Around midnight, Deputy Mike is sent to patrol near Patrick's truck, monitoring the area in case anything changes. A few hours into his shift, something does.
Who are you? Stop right there. Just go ahead and stop right there. So what are you coming out here for?
That guy there, Patrick Shelton, that's his stuff. I kind of looking after a little bit.
Okay.
Car down here, and I try to come down here and investigate, see if someone's ripping him off.
Okay.
I didn't know it was you guys.
Okay, well, I turned my lights on, and you still were shining your light at me.
Yeah, you had your lights on me. I couldn't see where I was going.
Okay, I'm saying I turned my red and blue lights on.
Yeah.
And you were still spotlighting me. And then I instructed you to turn it off.
I don't like lights in my eyes about as much as you don't. You know, you had yours and mine, so I guess we're even.
No, it's not even. Okay, so what are you doing? You're just keeping an eye on
Patrick Shelton.
Okay.
Got a little thieving problem going on down here, and I just want to make sure you weren't that guys.
You having a little what problem?
Thieving.
What?
Thievery.
Thievery. Okay.
Talk to Ethan Kelly about that. He'll tell you.
Okay. All right. So you're just trying to keep an eye on stuff then.
Yeah, make sure nobody's ripping shit off down here.
Okay.
So, excuse me for if I got you excited.
All right. 270, 240. We can calm down. I'm code 4.
Out here, in complete darkness, Alan Bruce suddenly appears. Nothing about this encounter adds up, because at this point, Alan isn't just the last person to see Patrick alive. He's been in a dispute with him, moved his motorhome after he disappeared, and now he's out here in the middle of the night claiming he's checking on Patrick's property and protecting it from theft. In reality, he came here to finish what he started, to destroy evidence he didn't have time to deal with earlier when deputies interrupted him. Worse yet, just minutes ago, he was at the River of No Return a couple miles away, disposing of what was left of Patrick. Deputy Mike doesn't know any of this yet, but this creepy encounter makes it clear that Alan knows something police don't. Unfortunately for him, this is where things begin to crumble, because coming back here tonight is the mistake that's about to collapse his entire cover-up operation. In the the early hours of the following morning, investigators used the overnight developments and the encounter with Alan to accelerate the approval of search warrants. With everything they've seen so far, it's clear Alan knows something they don't, and they need to find out what that is. To do that, they put a plan in motion. First, get Alan off the property, search it, and if any hard evidence is found, bring him back and confront him with it. So while detectives get the search warrants approved, one deputy is sent to Alan's property with a simple objective: get Alan into the car and keep him away from the property to avoid destruction of any evidence. Alan, on the other hand, believes he's already taken care of all the incriminating evidence and that there's nothing left to find. When Deputy Kelly arrives at the lot, Alan has no clue how quickly his entire cover-up plot will come crashing down on him.
Hey, Alan. How's it going? Hopefully your day's a little better than when I last ran into you. You said everything was... Well, your truck's still broken down, I guess, so maybe that's not the case. Doing all right? You just hop in the front there.
Sure hope he turns up. He's got unfinished business.
Yeah, he's still got stuff on your property too to get off too, huh? So, I mean, y'all were getting along for a while there, but then, what happened there even? He just started accusing you of stuff, or?
Yeah. And there was nothing I could say to convince him that it wasn't.
Well, I appreciate you being available to just chat with them a bit more. They're the professionals. They've got questions I probably didn't ask you.
Okay.
Even as the deputy tries to subtly probe for more information, nothing useful comes out of it, and Alan sticks to his story. Interestingly though, Alan appears noticeably more relaxed, likely because he's confident that there's no way police can tie him to a crime. Roughly 30 minutes later, deputies and detectives arrive at the property. While Alan waits inside his car, the discovery of the evidence he failed to cover up starts with Patrick's motorhome.
Sheriff's office. Make yourself known. What this is? Got a gun case?
Patrick's empty gun box is consistent with earlier statements that he always keeps a firearm with him. The problem is, that gun is nowhere to be found in the motorhome, and it was never found in his pickup truck the previous day. With Patrick's motorhome cleared, officers move over to Alan's property. Alan owns multiple structures and vehicles on the lot, and after clearing a few of them, deputies find no obvious signs of a crime. It seems like Alan's cover-up operation is successful so far, but that begins to change as deputies notice something unusual lingering across parts of the property.
Already did. Cool.
Something stinks.
Oh, it stinks bad.
Just kind of pull that one down.
So we're just gonna hold on this trailer till we can get keys. If he won't give us keys, then we'll go from there. But we need to hold on this until we get that.
Probably in that freshly moved.
Do we want to call out the cadaver dog?
Let's go ahead and do it while we're here. We've got it cleared. It might be the best way to get something to hold him.
As the search continues, deputies can smell an odor of burnt meat across parts of the lot, but no clear source. After checking around the structures again and searching the open areas, they can't find anything. So, to pinpoint the source, deputies call in a cadaver dog trained to detect human remains, and a few minutes later, police canine Spy arrives on scene. After running the dog across the property, Spy begins alerting to the presence of something inside a set of barrels.
I'm rolling. Cleaned out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we got our window.
In a burned lot.
Ah. Latex gloves, windows.
And doggy treats.
I'm gonna get a backed up picture.
Inside the barrel, officers begin to uncover what Alan tried to hide. Broken window glass of a car consistent with a bullet impact, latex gloves, and traces of blood on the filter of a vacuum cleaner. After searching other barrels, officers find night vision binoculars, Patrick's baseball cap marked with blood, and most concerning of all, bone fragments and suspected human remains on multiple pieces of clothing. Additional items are recovered as well, including ammunition and magazines, but no firearms, suggesting the weapons may have been moved or hidden somewhere else. Among the findings, detectives note the missing firearms, the lack of any intact remains, and the speed at which the scene appears to have been cleaned, something particularly peculiar, leading them to consider that Alan may not have acted alone. After these discoveries, Alan's property is officially treated as a crime scene. The area is secured and forensic examiners are called in to process the evidence. Detectives now have the hard evidence they need to confront Alan, but while they prepare to do so, an unexpected development happens when Alan's younger brother Larry suddenly shows up at the scene. Hours earlier, police received an oddly timed phone call from him, claiming that if anything happened to Patrick, it was his own fault. Not only that, Larry made additional statements about Patrick that led detectives to question whether they might be dealing with a second suspect.
He's been stealing shit of my brother's, and he said Pat's threatened him and waved a big-ass gun at him. Somebody else said that he's a straight-up thief. Shelton's an opportunist. He's going to take advantage of anything that he can, if he thinks he can get away with it.
Right. Okay, so he was kind of concerned Patrick might do something stupid, use a gun or something.
Concerned Pat's going to kill him,
Right.
On the call, Larry made it clear that Patrick was the aggressor and the one who had been threatening Alan, leading investigators to suspect he might know more than what he shared on the phone. So naturally, their suspicions rise when he arrives at the search warrant scene unannounced. Once detectives begin speaking with him, Larry seems confident he can prove that Patrick was the problem.
Howdy. How's it going? And you are?
I'm Alan's brother.
Okay, I'm Sergeant Tuttle with the State Police. So obviously, your brother got himself in a lot of trouble.
That's what it sounds like.
It's starting to rain. You want to go in the trailer? We can go sit in the trailer where we're not getting rained on. You said that Shelton, is that the guy's name?
Patrick Shelton, yeah.
Okay. And he was threatening your brother, right?
Right.
And so is that something your brother told you, or do you have other knowledge of that?
That's something my brother told me. My brother said, hey, he pulled a pistol and waved it in my face and threatened me. And
how long ago did your brother tell you that? About a week?
That was probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
If somebody was waving a gun at me, I'd probably be, wanting to have something to defend myself too,
Right.
But, my brother had been asking Shelton to move for months.
Okay.
And Shelton was like, well, f*** you, basically. So my brother took the little road grader, the little dozer, and pulled his stuff and put it out here on the other side of the fence.
Stuff. Is this something your brother told you, or is this something you saw?
As far as moving the stuff? Yeah, I came by the day that he was moving stuff on the way home. What I done know, when my brother had moved the stuff just to try to get the pressure off of my brother, I texted Shelton and I told him, hey, I moved your crap off of my brother's lot. So then he texted me back when he got to town going, I got a beef with you. I mean, Shelton's a drunk and a dope fiend. Okay, so right here, I told him you're f***ing up, not getting your junk off my brother's lot. That was off Alan's lot. That was May 3rd.
Okay.
He goes, I'm trying. I'm broke down, trying to get a ride.
Then you said, never mind, I moved it for you. Give Alan back whatever you took it his.
Yeah, he goes, who is this? Alan's brought the beef to me anyway. I don't have any of his shit. Well, Alan kept showing me pictures of stuff that was missing, where it was and missing, and Patrick was like one of the only people in here. So, Archie, I have a beef with you too.
Okay.
Let's put, bring your beef. We know who you are, drug addicts. Just remember, you me with all of us. And I'd taken pictures from the sheriff's office parking lot thinking that Well, maybe he'd think I'm a sheriff, and maybe he'd pack his and, you know, or leave Alan alone and get the out of town, you know. So I put, with me, with all of us, you'll lose. Best thing for you to do is pack up and leave Custer County and don't come back.
Alan's brother goes on to pull up additional messages between him and Patrick. The messages he shares show the feud escalating over time, primarily over Patrick refusing to move his property off the land and accusations that he'd been stealing from Alan. As detectives read through them, it becomes clear that Alan's brother wasn't just aware of the conflict, he was involved in it at some point. This only adds to investigators' suspicions, so instead of continuing to circle around it, the detective says exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah, it's...
And no sign of Shelton, though, huh? Find a body or anything? Or
There's signs of Shelton, just not living signs of Shelton. One of the things I'm trying to wrap my head around is, I'm like, how did he do that by himself? He's not a very big guy. Like, how would he move things around without somebody helping him? Like, if he... Let's just say that if he shot Shelton and took him somewhere and dumped his body, who would he call to help him?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, he wouldn't call me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Does he have good friends that...
I don't know. I don't know what he's capable of, you know? I mean...
Right.
I don't know anybody that would help him move something, you know, help him commit a crime, you know? I mean, my wife would shoot me if I helped him, you know?
How long you been married?
Since 2016.
Yeah, she murdered you.
9 years. Last night, she's like going, well, this and that, you know, and what if it was Alan? What if he comes and kills us in our sleep, you know? I was like, you know, because, I mean, she was watching that Criminal Minds for a long time, you know, after she retired from the DA, you know? It's like, you know, serial killers, you know?
Tell her, babe, it's Custer County. You know, don't worry about serial killers. When it's all said and done, everybody will know everything.
You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
On that interesting remark, Larry shifts from defending his brother to no longer being certain, and begins to see things the way investigators do. With nothing else to add, police wrap up the interview with Larry, still uncertain of his involvement. Now they can finally turn their attention back to Alan, who's still sitting in the car, completely unaware of what's just been uncovered on his lot. At this point, investigators have enough to place Alan under arrest and pursue homicide charges. The problem is, they don't have a body, and they don't have a confession, both of which are critical in building a solid case, especially when it comes to proving exactly what happened and how. But with the evidence discovered on his property, this is their best chance to confront Alan directly and push for a confession. The stakes are extremely high. If Alan plays his cards right, a skilled defense attorney can create just enough reasonable doubt to get him out of this scot-free.
We've got a cadaver dog hitting on other spots on the property that have bone fragments. And the only thing that dog is trained to hit on is dead humans. You know, there was only 2 people here that night, you and him. Right? There's nobody else that I can talk to. Can't find him. And if you didn't do it and somebody else did, can you point me in the right direction?
I can't do that. I don't know anybody else is out here.
No, that's like I said, I don't either.
Even after hearing this, Alan continues his denial. But this is exactly why investigators brought him back to the property. It's a part of a strategy known as crime scene exposure. Experienced detectives use this technique to confront suspects with something directly tied to the crime, like the scene itself or key pieces of evidence. This creates psychological pressure, making it harder to maintain a lie, and often triggering unexpected reactions or slips in their story. So investigators take Alan out of the car and bring him back to the center of the lot, back to the very place where everything likely happened, to see if he will finally break.
Well, we want to be able to tell the prosecutor you helped us every which way you could.
I can conduct my case and go to prison for the rest of my life. What?
I don't know. I can't tell you what the prosecutor...
I gotta go through the jury trial now.
You don't have to go through nothing right now. Yeah. So the way it works here is he doesn't feel like we should let you stay free, right? So we're still going to continue to investigate this case with your help or without your help. We're still going to dig through.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some things that like concern me, like, and I don't know if you were asking about like who drove the truck up in the mountains.
Nobody drove it. I towed it up there.
Oh, you towed it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. With which vehicle?
My dog.
Okay.
The tow barn and towed it up here.
Oh, okay. What'd you do with the dog?
Left it in the truck. I was going to dispatch it, but I figured, nah, just leave the truck. Maybe a little bigger more.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog didn't do nothing.
I didn't want to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing.
Yeah. So like,
Just, I mean, we're in a rock and a hard place right now, right? It's where we've been all day. It's where we're going to continue to be until we can completely wrap this up and figure out what the hell actually happened.
Well, before you take it, I would like to lock on myself.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we're not going to leave this unsecured.
Yeah, we won't leave it like that,
I mean,
man.
we'll lock it all up and bring in the keys.
Close the gate, whatever. No,
Yeah.
I didn't call. I'm in trouble.
Well, that's part of it, but you also destroyed some evidence.
What did you?
I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
Alan, dude, come on. Did you burn a body? Come on.
Yeah, I did.
And you didn't tell anybody. So, like, look at it from our point of view. You know, we do the right thing for Patrick's family. You know what I mean? We gotta try to find that body. You know, we gotta do the right thing for his family.
There is no body found. He was reduced down to nothing. Nothing.
Did you chop him up?
No, I threw him in a burn barrel with a bunch of wood underneath him. And, yeah, I chopped him up.
Like,
I took a chainsaw to him.
Okay, where's the chainsaw?
It's gone. It's gone.
Did you throw it in the river?
I got rid of it. Believe me, I burned it.
You burnt the chainsaw?
Yeah.
Is it in the barrel?
Yeah.
And I've never chainsawed a body, but I think there would be like blood and skin and gristle and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And so, like, where's that at? How did you clean that up?
Took a shovel and rake, ripped up everything I could, walked it down with a hose and put Clorox on it.
And the chainsaw's where?
Shoot the burn barrel and burned it last day.
Alan finally cracks, admitting that he shot Patrick, dismembered him, and burned the body before disposing of the remains. With a confession now on record, investigators turn their attention to a critical question. Did Alan act alone, or is there something even darker he's still hiding? But before detectives can press further, Alan makes a surprising claim.
He came up with that pistol, was gonna do me.
And we're not arguing. We're not arguing that point. We're just trying to figure out like what you did with the body, how you did it, and where it's at, if there's anything left.
Not much.
Did you have any help with it?
I see if you shoot, shut up, and shovel.
Do you see our point? I mean, what we're trying to do at all, Alan?
I tried to hide it and get away with it.
Yeah. And like I said, we're just trying to, get some closure for his family and present the picture so that everybody understands why you did what you did.
Said, you better pull the trigger. Mother, things come up with the gun. At that point, it was me or him, but
Despite Alan's claims that he killed Patrick in self-defense, it hardly explains the brutality and concealment that followed. Following this, Alan is arrested and charged with first-degree murder along with multiple additional charges. Later that day, dive teams and officers are sent to the river area where Alan claimed he dumped the remains. But despite extensive search efforts, nothing of evidentiary value is recovered. In the days that follow, police obtain a warrant to search Alan's phone, where they find the most critical evidence in the case. On Alan's phone, detectives find a hostile exchange from May 7th where Patrick texts Alan, "You will be seeing me soon. Make your peace." And Alan responds, "Never be at my place after dark or else." But it's in the camera roll where they find what they had been unable to locate for days. A photo of Patrick, dead inside the cab of his truck with his silver pistol next to him. The photo was taken at 6:25 a.m. on May 8th. When asked about it, Alan claims he took the photo as proof, in case he ever needed it. A couple months later, in July 2025, police receive a call from fishermen reporting a burn barrel floating in a different area of the Salmon River. Officers and divers recover the barrel and transport it for forensic examination, but no human remains or items linked to Patrick are found inside, likely because everything had already been destroyed or lost in the river of no return. As for the missing firearms, investigators later uncover both the rifle and Patrick's silver pistol at the residence of an associate of Allen. The man claims Allen brought the weapons to him asking him to sell them, and with no evidence tying his associates or his brother to the homicide or the cover-up, investigators determined that Allen acted alone. In October 2025, Allen's initial charges were reduced to second-degree murder and destruction of evidence after Allen entered an Alford plea, meaning he maintains his innocence while acknowledging that prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him. In November 2025, a judge denies Allen's last-minute attempt to withdraw the plea and sentences him to 20 years in prison. He must serve at least 10 years before becoming eligible for parole, meaning he will get a chance to walk free in his 80s. But given the severity of the crime, there is a very real possibility he never leaves prison at all.